do you say? You want to see my secret?
Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Abby's Window. For those of you who are tuning in, you are correct. I am not Joe. This is Jeff. Joe is actually working right now, so shout out to Joe. And hopefully he'll be back with us next week. So as always, we have our Abby with us. Jodie, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I want to bring in a special guest that we have with us this week, the one and only Brandi Smith. Brandi, how are you?
Hey everybody, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So Jodie, I don't want to waste any time. I just want to get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about the promo package that we saw on Smackdown Friday night.
Oh man, that promo was really, really cool. We saw a lot of, obviously, it was a lot of old clips of old Bray promos, and we saw a lot of alligators, a lot of swamps, and Bray up to his old tricks again.
Yeah. I mean, big time mind games from Bray, and I love seeing the alligators and everything there, and the old all of the old images
Oh yeah.
of the swamp and everything like that. Brandy, what did you think of the promo from this past Friday?
I love classic Bray.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me too.
we got a big amen from Jody on that.
Mm-hmm.
So Jody, in terms of that promo, did it set up anything for you? Did it point anything out new or anything like that? What did you think in terms of how we go into the future with this?
I think it could be, the alligators could be an Easter egg because obviously he talked about the man in the woods dragging an alligator, um, across the bank. And I would love, as you guys know, I would love to see that man in the woods story come to life. And I would love at some point, he doesn't have to interfere with the match or whatever, but at some point I would love to see the Fiend just dragging an alligator. Yeah. And one other thing too, if
Get
you
the
guys have watched C Wrestling's video, there was a snippet image of an old man, which we kind of went to. He contacted me and said, "Who is this guy?" And shout out to Lucas because he was the one that actually pointed out to C and said, "Who is this guy?" And I did some research and found out that it's a guy from an old 1920 version of the Mask of Zorro. And that's a really cool theory video from C Wrestling. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out.
Yeah, that really was a good video. Shout out to C Wrestling and Jody and Lucas for all of your work on there. Let me shout out a few people. We've got Wrestling Days fan, Austin 316. Let's see who else. We've got famous KJ Carter, Kevin Correa. I hope I said your name right there. Let's see who else we've got here. Kyle Scully, Killer Sasuke. We've got a Moda alert in the house. Hey Moda. Let's see who else we've got. We've got EJ Movement. We've got Nails. Hey Nails. We've got Sonny Wolf in the house. Hey Sonny. Let's see who else if we've had any. Hey Jake. Jake just joined us. Butter Spark. Sincere Meteor. How are you? We've also got Dave in real life. Shane Loki. I hope I said that night right. If I didn't, I apologize for butchering your name. And we've got wrestling days in the house. So thank you
Hey,
all
Days.
for joining
What's
us.
up, Days?
Yeah, thank you all for joining us this evening. So
Jeff, I love
let's.
that little Zorro that you put in that graphic.
Hey, I do
It's
what I can.
brilliant.
I do what I can. I do what I can. But yeah, that's I figured, hey, why not? Why
I love
not
it.
put Zorro in there since the theory video is out there. But if you could just break that. Okay, good. I said Shane's name correctly, so
Okay, good.
that's awesome. I hate butchering people's names. Let's see. We've also got Dalton Riley just joined us. So Jodie, if you could break down that theory a little bit more, because I watched that video and I thought it was an interesting take. But just break that down a little bit more about how you guys came up with that theory and what you think it means in terms of the storyline that we have with Bray.
Okay, so originally when I found the picture where this picture came from of this old man, it's an actor named Walt Whitman, and originally I was immediately thinking of the poet Walt Whitman. But doing some more research on it, I was like, no, it's not the same guy. So, and Walt Whitman, the actor, never really had. He was in a lot of silent movies in that era, but nothing really stood out. So I went more towards the character that he played, and the character he played is a guy named Felipe, and he was an orphan, like a war orphan, and Zorro, his alter Zorro is his alter ego, but he kind of took Felipe in when he was young. And Felipe was also mute; he didn't speak. And he kind of took him under his wing and took him in, and he kind of became, this, apprentice, I guess you want to say. And they built this strong bond of friendship, and obviously Felipe is the only person that knows Zorro's real identity, because obviously he was two different people. He had the man in the mask who was Zorro, and then he had his real, who he really was, which I forget his name. So we kind of delved into that theory, and I said, what if it's a parallel, that Bray's trying to compare himself to Zorro. He's this person in a mask. He leaves a mark on everybody he encounters, and that Braun is kind of his Felipe. He's, when he was with the Wyatt family, he didn't speak. He just kind of did his work. And what if Braun knows the real Bray? And yeah, so I just felt like it was that story between Zorro and Felipe is kind of similar to the story between Braun and Bray.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting theory there. How how you guys how C talked about how Bray leaves his mark. I thought that was very interesting. Brandi, let's get your thoughts on that.
Oh gosh, guys. Okay, it's heel Brandy time. I don't give that much credit to WWE writers. I don't think they would go that deeply into it.
I think Bray would, though.
Possibly, but you think about his age and you think about, okay, this is a 1920s movie. Whose, life would this have even touched? I mean, probably Vince McMahon may not even know about it. So, this is before talkies, and unless, somebody in Bray's family or something is a classic movie buff, I don't know. I feel like you could have used another character, another storyline to make a parallel between, something in Bray's mythology. I mean, you can look at Batman being the masked man, and you know what he does. You could draw a parallel there. You know, I don't think it had to go so far back.
Yeah. And I don't know that about Bray either. I don't know if he's an old silent movie history person. But one thing I feel like we do know about Bray is everything means something. Every little, he's been dropping Easter eggs for years. And I don't think it's, it could be, you could easily say, oh, it's just a picture and a promo. But if you think about Bray and who he is, everything means something.
Yeah, there are no wasted things when it comes to Bray and his storylines, and I'm kind of with Brandi in terms of not giving credit to WWE, because I know that they don't think that deeply when it comes to their storylines. So if this is something that is an Easter egg, it definitely came from Bray, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see Bruce Pritchard or any one of their writers coming up with anything that creative.
Well, and Bray's going to go for something that's not obvious. He's going to make you do the work and put the time in to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. We've also, I want to shout out a couple other people. We've got Eric Haberman and John. How are you? I think that's all that's joined us so far. We've got quite a few people watching, so thank you everyone for joining us tonight. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. As we get to 750, we'll do another t-shirt giveaway. Just want to give a quick update on that. The t-shirts did go out on Friday, obviously with the holiday. I'm not sure that they even moved over the weekend, so they probably started on their way today. So all of you should probably get those shirts within the next week. Fingers crossed. Just let me know, DM me and let me know if you haven't gotten it by next week this time, and we'll see what's up with it. We'll get on the tracking. So as we're going forward here, let's talk a little bit more about the Extreme Rules match that's coming up on July 19th. And I know that for me, I'm really excited about the match. I'm really excited to see what they do. We know it's going to be a cinematic match, so I'm really excited to see what happens there. I'll start in a different direction this time. Brandi, what do you think? What do you think we'll get from this swamp match at Extreme Rules?
I wish the build, would have gone to SummerSlam, because I feel like this is a huge enough storyline and it's a huge enough match. It would have, definitely been equal to SummerSlam. But the cinematic match, we already know that that's where Bray shines. Based on WrestleMania and based on the Funhouse promos and everything he's done. And I think it's a smart move by WWE. It keeps the fans intrigued. And you have arguably their most popular character right now in his element.
Yeah, I agree. So Abby, tell us what you're thinking.
I think it's going to be like the Boneyard match meets the Firefly Funhouse match on steroids. I think it is going to, obviously we know with a swamp match, it's going to have to be more cinematic, but I also think it's going to be more physical than what we saw at WrestleMania between him and John Cena. I definitely think there's going to be more mudslinging involved. I think it would be interesting if we saw the cabin that Kyle posted pictures of. But I definitely think it's going to be a beautiful matchup between a cinematic wrestling match. I don't think there's going to be an actual ring. that's just a gut feeling. I think this is more of going to be, you know, a fight to the death in the swamp.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
was
I
wondering. I'm
go
sorry,
ahead. Go
Joe.
ahead, Brandi.
No, I was
Go ahead.
wondering if you two thought that it might harken back to the Goldust Piper match, you know, which was half cinematic and half in the ring.
Yeah, I don't think just a gut feeling. I don't think we're going to get a ring at all. I don't
Right.
think we're going to set up a ring in the middle of the swamp. I think it's literally just going to be mudslinging in the swamp.
Yeah, I don't think we get I don't think we get a ring involved at all. I think it's going to be a lot like the Boneyard match,
Mm-hmm.
where we'll see a lot of physicality and a lot of action there in that match. But I don't think we get a ring in this match. I think we just get the cinematic elements of it like we did in the Boneyard match. I think we get a lot of mind games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might get some surprises in terms of some people showing up. Nails asked, are the three faces of Bray rumored for this one or after this one? Jodie, do you know if they're if he's going to have a couple different faces show up?
I mean, I don't know anything. It's not
Well,
like
what would you
me and
guess?
Bray just shoot the shit every weekend, but I
What
do
would you?
think we see all three faces of Bray.
Okay. I could see that. I think we'll get all three. Brandi, what about you? You think we'll get all three faces?
Yeah, I agree, but I think it would also be really cool, like to throw in some swamp gas, and you know maybe you see Bigfoot somewhere in the background, and you know they can do anything. You know they've proven that. So I think it's going to be probably the most entertaining and dramatic match on the card.
Yeah. And I don't think the reason why I don't think that there's going to be a ring is because I don't think this ends in a pin.
No, it definitely doesn't end in a pin. I believe that we get something else entirely. But yeah, I don't think we get a pin or anything like that. I think it's just going to be two guys beating the absolute crap out of each other, and we'll get something surprising at the end. I know I just saw some. Let's see, Austin 316 said. I'm just trying to pull that up here. He said, I would love to see the Fiend come out under the water after Braun beats Bray. Braun throws Bray in the swamp water and out pops the Fiend.
That'd be cool. Holding a
That would be
slingshot.
Cool. Yeah. I would honestly, I would love to see, and this is just my horror background. Yes. I put Shane's comment up there. He would like the Fiend to show up at the end of the match and grab Braun and drag him under the water.
Yes.
Like I would love to see, and I don't know if everyone remembers this scene from Jason versus Freddy, but at the end of the movie, Jason is carrying Freddy Krueger's head as he's walking out of the water, and you get that little wink from Freddy. I'd love to see maybe like the Fiend coming out of the water and holding the lantern.
Ooh.
I would really love to see something like that as he's coming out of the water.
That would be really cool.
You know, that signifies the end of this Bray, but now Braun has to deal with the Fiend. I'd really love to see something like that.
I love that imagery.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nell says walking out with a Braun lantern instead.
Ooh,
that would be pretty good. I would love that.
And then have some kind of impression of Abby in the background, maybe behind trees or something. I think that would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And or if we get the cabin, seeing her looking out of the
Yeah, in the
cabin.
window.
In the window, yeah, having
Yep.
her look outside in the window, I think would be really cool. Let's see, we've got Jason Peace. Shout out to you. Let's see who else. Tyler Hahn. How are you? Yeah, boy. What's up, Chalmers? Good to see all of you.
Nails
yeah,
wants to see me in the window.
She wants to see you in the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Sonny. Sonny asks, so like the lantern winks when the Fiend carries it out. If they could do that somehow, some way, that would be really, really cool. I don't know if they can do that with the lantern, but if they could,
Probably
well,
not.
I'll just say this: if anybody can do it, it's going to be Jason Baker and
True.
Tom Savini. So
True.
if anybody can set something up like that, it's definitely them. Kato Jackson, hello. Let's see here what Kato is saying. Thank you for being a fan of ours. Do you think there can be a new family with Bo and someone else?
Not yet. Give us some time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not yet. I don't think we get that yet. What about you, Brandi?
Look, I've been talking about this from the first time I think I spoke with you guys. I want to see Bo in on this so bad. I can't stand it. You know, I feel like maybe it's going to take a little longer. Maybe he needs a little more time to let that beard grow, but I feel like it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, I think at some point it will, but I don't think we get that right now because I don't think Bray's done telling this part of the story just yet.
Right.
And I don't think he needs anyone else. And Days, you're hilarious, my friend. Days says, I want the swamp to have 3 cabins, one for each persona, maybe a lady fiend and a nightie instead inside the fiend's cabin. I'm
Oh, God.
a lady fiend and a nightie.
He's on his 100th day straight of streaming. He's lost his mind.
That explains a lot.
It does.
That that explains a lot. And Days, wow. we're gonna keep moving on
What
here.
about us in the nightie?
Oh God.
Oh God.
Now we're just getting crazy.
We're in the weeds. We're in the weeds.
No, but seriously, who from the Funhouse do you think might make an appearance? Any of the
Abby.
puppets?
You say Abby?
I think they all could. Especially if it's in a cabin or something, you could see them pop up here and there. But the one I could be most, considering it's a swamp match, one I could see is Abby.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Mercy the Buzzard.
That would be cool.
You took my
think
thought.
It'd be really cool. Yeah.
You took it away.
I'm sorry. I'll let you elaborate on why you'd like to see Mercy the Buzzard.
Look, the implications of Mercy the Buzzard, especially when you have more of the beginnings of Bray in the match, would be absolutely perfect storytelling, because we obviously know that Waylon Mercy is the background for the Buzzard, and Dan Spivey helped Bray come up with the character. So that's great. To me, that's just great storytelling.
Yeah,
he did say follow the Buzzard.
Disagree.
Yep.
He sure did. He sure did. I think that would be cool to bring him back. And I'd love to see Dan Spivey, aka Waylon Mercy, show up, just make an appearance. I think that would be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Let's see, we've got trying to keep up.
You know
with
what I
this.
think would be really cool? If at some
What's
point,
that?
since Pennywise refers to himself as the Eater of Worlds, at some point in that match, Bray just needs to say, "We all float down here, Braun."
I'd love it.
Wow.
I'd love that. I'd love that. We've got Sean Rousset, Sean Flagstaff. How are you? Uh, Jessica Jane Johnson. How are you? Um, let's see here. Yeah, I would. Oh, goodness, I would love to see um, some callbacks to some different horror movies in this, because I think this type of match and the mystique around it and how creepy I think it's going to be, I think we could see some definite horror elements move their way into this match.
With WWE, you would get the doink version of Pennywise.
That is and not the good doink, but the doink
No,
that we saw at Money
yeah.
in the Bank.
Absolutely.
That doink. Uh-oh, Nell says she's going to cry about Pennywise.
It's okay, Nails. I'm terrified of clowns too.
I don't do clowns either, and I can't see them anymore.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Pennywise. I know I'm weird, but
You're a sick man, Jeff.
I am a sick man.
Well, we also
I'm a
know
real
that Bray
sick
is a
man.
horror movie fan, so we could see some.
And that's why I think we're gonna get a lot of elements of horror.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Wouldn't it be awesome if Bray goes, "Here's Bray"? Oh man.
That would be awesome. Absolutely awesome.
That'd be funny.
Sonny says Fiendlings chase Braun in the swamp.
See, wrestling made it.
Hey C, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Apparently, my phone thinks that I said, "Hey Siri," which I just said again. So my phone is being stupid. So let's take a couple more minutes to talk about implications past this match. I'll start with you, Jodie. So let's say that Bray wins this match. What's next?
I still think we get the Fiend versus Braun Strowman at SummerSlam.
Okay. Do you think it's for the title?
No. I actually don't think Braun is going to have the title then.
Okay, so we need to dive into that. What do you think happens with that?
I'm not quite sure exactly. I just don't feel like he's going to have the title then. Because I don't think WWE wants to back themselves into a corner with Bray again just yet. I think that's probably the reason why they didn't have it be a title match this time. So I think someone else is going to take it from Braun, and it's going to be a non-title match.
So do you think Otis cashes in soon?
It could be.
Otis in the swamp, dude.
But I still think we get the Fiend versus Braun Strowman at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I agree.
What do you think, Brandi? You agree?
I agree with that assessment, and I think when you're talking about the title, you have to ask yourself, who needs the title right now? Bray or Braun, neither one need the title.
Right.
It's not going to make their characters any better or any worse.
Right.
So who needs the title to lift them up? I think that's the question you have to ask yourself.
Yeah. Dave's fan says, hopefully not Otis.
Aww.
Hashtag that. I like Otis. He's a good guy.
Otis.
I like Otis.
But
He's
him in the swamp, that works.
See, I don't think SummerSlam will be in a swamp.
So I don't either.
I'm talking about for this match. I wouldn't be surprised if, Otis makes an appearance because it kind of fits with his character. I don't think Mandy would go to the
Wrestling
swamp.
Days. She may go to the swamp. Wrestling Days says, could Balor return at SummerSlam? It will have been 1 year since he lost to The Fiend. I would love to see Demon Balor against The Fiend.
Don't get me started.
My goodness.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see those two in a match. That, oh my goodness,
That'd
that would
be
be
amazing.
absolute fire. Yes.
And
That's
if
like
it's
hashtag wish
cinematic,
list.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a
You could have
cinematic match at that. Oh,
Right.
oh, you could have like the Fiend versus Demon Finn Balor in like a 3 stages of hell match. Oh,
do
yeah,
we see that Hell in
WWE
a
if you're
Cell
listening.
then? Is that more Hell in a Cell match?
I kind of feel like it should be the Fiend versus Roman at Hell in a Cell, because that's where they had their big feud kind of come to a climax, was at Hell in a Cell. But that's just me.
That's true. That's true. We've got Monica King. Hello. John Cena Gamer. How are you? Let's see what else we've got here. Yes, this is a big money match. That's
yeah.
what Days fan says. That's absolutely a big money match.
Well, it's really honestly the only match that people are talking about.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know what the other matches are. I can't even remember.
Honestly, doesn't matter at this point. We just want to see Bray and Braun just go at it.
Yep.
So I'll ask the other end of this question. So, what do you think happens if Bray loses this match? What's next?
I think it's still going to be the Fiend versus Braun Strowman at SummerSlam. Because then it becomes...
Either way.
Then the storyline becomes, okay, Bray lost, so that means that Cult Leader Bray still couldn't get the job done, so now the Fiend's going to have to do it. It would be very easy to go down that road.
Yeah, there's going to have to be, if that happens, a redemption aspect. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. Days fan says Fiend versus Lesnar would make so much money. We know how Jodie feels about that.
But, Bray and Brock
but it's true.
did have some run-ins in the past. So I definitely think Brock is on Bray's list.
Yeah. Brandi, what do you think if what happens if Bray Wyatt loses this one?
I'm with Jodie. I think you still get another match with Braun because there's so much meat on the bone there.
Mm-hmm.
But God, I hope it's not Brock Lesnar. Jesus. Let him stay away.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll start doing some questions right here. The first one is from Sincere Meteor. Could I ask you guys what you think the Fiend will be doing come SummerSlam? For Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, I want Black versus Fiend versus Cross. That would be another great match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
What about Black versus Fiend versus Demon Balor?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're just making me want to pass out over here because if I were to get that match, I'd be extremely happy. So
that's a money match.
Mm-hmm.
That is a money match, absolutely. Days says, does Bray need revenge against the man who shall remain nameless, aka Mr. Jill Hammer himself? I don't think he needs revenge against Oldberg.
No.
But if you're looking at it from storytelling, maybe we do get that at some point.
I honestly would rather not, just because I don't want to see Goldberg wrestle anymore. Because the more he wrestles, the more likely it is that he's going to seriously hurt somebody. And, that's not a knock at who he is overall. Back in his heyday, he was great. But he doesn't have it anymore. And, he's going to end up really hurting somebody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Goldberg
I agree.
anyway was a 2 or 3 trick pony, and
Yeah.
I think Bray would have to beat the Undertaker to the front of the line on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sonny Wolf asks, do you think we will get a Funhouse on SmackDown or a contract signing with Bray and Braun?
I think we get both. Not in the same week. Wait, how many SmackDowns are left? So there's 2 SmackDowns left?
Yes.
Yeah, two left.
So I think maybe this week we get something from Bray, like a Funhouse episode or something. Next week, I think they will have a face-to-face contract signing.
Yeah, I
and then
agree
we
with
get
that.
to see Cult Leader Bray in the ring.
Yeah, that'll be something else. I want to see what his entrance music is.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know.
Do they bring out the rocking chair?
Yeah, I think that would be a good way to hype up this match even more. 2 days before that, we find out that, we get Cult Leader Bray in the ring with his old theme music. And I think that would really that's the last thing we see before they go off to the swamp to fight each other. I think that would just be so epic.
Agreed. Meme Collector 30 says, should Funhouse Bray appear in the swamp match, or is Funhouse Bray too comical for a horror setting?
I think we may see snippets of Funhouse Bray like we did at the beginning of the Cena match. Maybe we get some kind of beginning, like a Funhouse episode to that match, and then he transitions into being Cult Leader Bray. If there was one face of Bray that we wouldn't see, I think it would be Funhouse Bray.
What about you, Brandi? What do you think about that?
I think you get more from the match if you don't see Funhouse Bray. I think it's not necessarily a good fit. I think you got a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see here. Sincere Meteor has another question. Could we see Tom Savini and Kane Hodder make cameo appearances as some of Bray's followers in this swamp match, since there will be homage to classic horror movies? Oh my goodness, I'd love to see that. Kane Hodder, he's awesome. My favorite Jason of all time. And he's a heck of a strong dude in person. Just ask Joe about almost being choked out at an autograph signing.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I would love to see those two. Austin 316 says, what if Goldberg shows up at the swamp match? I'll turn the TV off.
Yeah.
That's what'll happen. No Goldberg.
No.
We're
done.
In this case, a gator does get a bulldog. Okay. Just this once.
Yes. Good stuff. That is good stuff.
Just this once.
Just once.
Just once.
Monica King says, do you think we'll see something completely like the Funhouse match with Cena or a brawl in the swamp? We kind of chatted about that earlier, but I'll turn that over to Jodie, and she can kind of give you some of her thoughts on that.
I think it's going to be a brawl in the swamp. For sure.
Brandi?
I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one match where they get permission to get color.
Yeah, I could see them getting some color in this match. I think we'll see a little bloodshed.
Oh, that might break my heart.
Jake says, on graphics, WWE are counting Muscle Man Bray as a persona. Do we see a match with him and Braun?
I don't think so. I think Muscle Man Bray is a persona, but I think he's more there to taunt people.
Brandi, what do you think about that?
No, I don't see Muscle Man versus Braun. No.
Yeah, I don't think I see that either. Let's see. Sunny Wolf says, "Lights out, and he appears in the ring, sitting in the chair. Keep entrance music a surprise." I
I'd be
like
okay with
that.
that.
Yeah, I like that.
That works.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work for me for sure. Sincere Meteor. What if this setting for this match is a swamp, but isn't a quote swamp at the same time? This could be Braun's own personal hellscape, since he fears Cult Leader Bray most, and this was Bray's home.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was, trying to say with the Funhouse match. It'll be, you know, their own. That's how it will be like the Funhouse match at WrestleMania.
Got you. So it'll kind of be like his own personal hell, like we saw with Cena.
Yeah.
Okay. Moda says,
Oh
could
no!
we...
Did we lose Jeff?
I'm still here.
I hear him.
Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me still.
I think we lost Jeff, you guys.
Jeff, I hear you, dude.
I guess it's just me. Because I don't think Brandy's here either. So we'll just keep going. I'm going to keep going. Okay. Let's get to some more questions. Well, I can't hear him. That's really weird.
Can you hear me, Jodie?
We're apparently having some technical difficulties, guys. I apologize.
Anything can happen
that.
live.
That's true.
I can't hear anybody.
Anything. Well, Jodie, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. If you can still hear me, I'm gonna add Jodie back into the mix here, so hopefully Jodie can hear us again. Jodie, can you hear us now? Okay, that's weird. Moda says, could we get some sort of supernatural force like all the old personas the Fiend has come out of the swamp and help Braun beat Bray? What do you think, Brandi?
I don't see them helping Braun. I think they would,
Hey,
keep
I
going
can
with
hear people again.
Go with the three faces of Bray, and go with that angle more than helping Braun.
Yeah, Jodie, Moda had a question. Could we get some sort of supernatural force, like all the personas the Fiend has changed, come out of the swamp to help Braun beat Bray?
Ooh, like zombies.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. And yes, Dalton, the Fiend we have let the Fiend in, and he did take over the podcast briefly, but I think we're back on track now. So yeah, we're still rolling. Still rolling. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? Or comments? Let's see here. We've got
Nail said I fell into the swamp.
I think you did. I think you did fall into the swamp.
All of a sudden, everything went quiet, and I'm like, okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what I was like. Uh-oh. I hope it's not me. I mean, we are about to get a storm here, but I was hoping it wasn't me like the last time. So
I know. Me and you were in the boondocks.
Yeah, we are. We're in the
storms.
sticks out here. Yeah. Here we are. Let's see here. Sincere Meteor says here, I'd like to see the Scarecrows return from Bray's Mania 31 entrance and act as henchmen for Bray against Braun, similarly to the Druids against Taker in the Boneyard match. Absolutely. Yes. Would love to see
imagery. Yes.
That'd be great. Would I be mad if Roman defeated the Fiend?
You know it's yes, Jodie.
I mean, yes and no, because I adore them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. If it was for a title, yeah, I probably would be, but they have to have a feud at some point, and it's gonna be tough for me because, like I said, I love them both, and for different reasons. So I don't know. Ask me when they start up their feud how I feel about it.
Nell says, I think real life horror movie S style puppets should be there. Real buzzard, real hog, a rabbit dog, a rabbit.
Well, if you remember in those cabin pictures that Kyle posted, there was a dead pig in one of them.
Yes, that is correct.
Would PETA get upset at that, or what do you think?
Probably, but you know, I think it's all in how it's done.
Yeah.
I think it would just depend on how it's done, but yeah. Let's see. Meme Collector 30 says there's a running gag that Braun's car windshield keeps getting broken. Should this happen again during the swamp match?
Yes. Have an old car in the swamp and, just go for it.
Maybe Bray slams Braun into the windshield.
Yeah. You know what would be really cool is if Bray somehow got an old version of that car and had it pulled out of the swamp at some point.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Or you could just put Braun's car in the swamp.
It's a swamp match. That thing is on blocks outside the swamp.
Yeah.
There you go. Killer Sasuke says, Insider Bray said, in order to take a step forward, we need to take a step back so the Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse don't exist in this feud.
I still think we're going to see the Fiend, though, because the Fiend has always been with him. Always.
Yeah. Brandi and I have confused Sunny Wolf. She says, what the heck does boondocks mean? So just real quick, that's when you live in the middle of nowhere and you're just surrounded by trees and dirt roads and that kind of stuff. At least that's where I live. There's like absolutely nothing out here. So that's what I'm saying refers to the boondocks.
And our nearest neighbor is at least a mile away. So there you go.
Wow. That's boondocks right there. That is the boondocks right there.
Yes.
Nell says if Bray does get the title shot at SummerSlam, whenever it would be cool for Otis to cash in against Muscle Man Bray.
That'd be kind of neat. But I still go back to the point that Otis and Bray don't have any history.
Okay, How about this? If Bray goes down in the match, and so you get Otis and Bray, what if you have this swamp-covered, leech-covered, mud-covered Bray? If he goes down in this match.
As a character?
No, as just like, okay, this is how you might see him next kind of thing.
Bray covered in mud. All right.
And if he loses the
match,
Shut
up, Jeff.
If he loses the match and he goes against Otis, like that's how you see him next.
I still think he's going after people that he's got history with, and he doesn't have any history with Otis, so I find it hard to play that story out.
Yeah. Austin 316 says, so will there be a cabin in the swamp match? Will they fight inside of it? Imagine seeing Cena trapped in one of the rooms in the cabin.
That's another theory that C and I have talked about a lot, about the people on the wall of friendship are trapped inside the funhouse, and the people that are in real life, like Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan, they are not faking, but they're a shadow of themselves, and the real characters are trapped in the funhouse.
Yeah.
So Cena would be trapped in the funhouse too.
In the funhouse, yeah.
I think you get the cabin in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we see a cabin. I do think we see it.
I don't necessarily think they fight
see.
in it, but I definitely think there will be a cabin involved.
Yeah, I think we see it. C Wrestling says Bray might have had a bad history with bulldozers. Therefore, he dislikes Otis.
Oh my God.
Jessica Jane Johnson says, I think we need to take a huge step back and find out why WWE decided to introduce Abigail through Bray. Can they not have just brought in a real person?
No, because Abigail was part of Bray in his head. Have her
and somewhat control as well.
And like I said, we've done a whole theory video about this, that Abigail was always the dominant voice in his head, and she was always the one that kind of kept the Fiend in check. And when he got thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation and separated them, the Fiend became the dominant voice. So I think that's why they chose to have Abigail through Bray, because she was a real person, but she was also inside his head.
Jodie, I have a question for you. If you're looking at Bray from the 3 faces of Bray, or however many faces we get out of this, assuming it's a dissociative identity thing, do you think each personality is always aware of what the other personality is doing?
From what I know of working in psych and dissociative personality disorder, no.
Because it can go either way. So I was wondering, from a storyline perspective, what do you think?
I think in this storyline, I think they probably do know what each of them is doing. To an extent, because obviously when he had that match, when Funhouse Bray had that match with The Miz and the Fiend showed up, Bray was kind of surprised. So that would lead you to believe that Bray doesn't know what the Fiend is doing. But I think the Fiend is ultimately the one that's in control, and I think the Fiend knows what everybody's doing. I think the dominant voice knows what everybody's doing, but the individual pieces may not.
Yeah, and I love that idea that maybe the individual pieces are kind of asleep. I think that's great storytelling.
But I think the Fiend knows everything that's going on.
Right.
Awesome.
Because Bray has said before too, several times, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. So I think, that could be a parallel too, that the Fiend sees everything.
Interesting stuff.
I like that.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, because we're gonna get out of here in a couple minutes here, but I'm going to turn it over to Jodie because she has an announcement about a contest and when it will take place. So Jodie, take it away.
All right. So next week on Abby's Window live, we are going to be giving away a piece of art from the one and only Scott Dorsey. I messaged him and asked him about getting some for the follow challenge that we had asked you guys to do, which nothing's happened yet. And he offered to send me a piece of art to give away on the show. So next week on Abby's Window, we will be giving away a piece of Scott Dorsey art.
Yes, we will. And Jodie, you'll put out details on how that contest will go on Twitter.
You'll have to tune in and find out.
Oh.
You have to be there.
Jodie.
You have to be there live in order to win.
So yeah, be there or be square, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I'm old. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We're gonna get out of here because we know a lot of you guys are going over to Days of Streams. So we're gonna get out of here. But Jodie, any final thoughts?
We'll see what happens on Friday. I think kind of everybody's super, super excited about the swamp match. I'd like to know before the actual swamp match what the stipulations are, because that's the one thing we don't know what a swamp match is. What are the stipulations? Is it a no DQ? Is it a pin? What's going to happen? How do you win a swamp match?
I think we're all waiting to see exactly how that's going to happen.
Yes.
Brandi, can you tell everyone what you've got coming up this week?
First of all, I want to say I think it's a no holds barred match. And this week, you guys, you've been asking for it. We're talking about the man, the legend, the behind the scenes of Bray Wyatt, Mr. Waylon Mercy.
Woo!
Good old Waylon Mercy. I can't wait for that episode, and I can't wait for next week. Jodie left us with a cliffhanger for next week, so I'm excited. You guys have to tune in.
Just brush up on your Bray trivia. You'll be fine.
There you go. A little hint for everyone out there. So that's going to be it for us for Abby's Window for tonight. So for Jodie, Brandi, Joe, and myself, we will see you all next time, and take care and enjoy Raw tonight. See you guys later.
Bye.
La